But now I'd like to have a few words from a very special person, the Honorary President of Modern Pentathlon, Prince Albert II of Monaco.
Dear President, dear Klaus Schurman, Honorable Catherine Harris, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I'd like to say how much I regret for not being among you today, as a number of official engagements do not permit me to travel to the wonderful city of Sarasota. Let me express my congratulations to Dr. Klaus Schurman, President of the International Modern Pentathlon Union, and to the Honorable Catherine Harris, Chairman of the World Cup Organizing Committee, for their efforts to provide an outstanding experience for all those involved in this first World Cup of the 2015 season. I wish to each athlete, proudly representing their national colors, the best results possible. Make every effort count and make the most of this moment for yourself and for your country. Hard training, fair play, respect of the competitors, these are the values of our sport, and they will contribute to defining you as a person and instill a sense of accomplishment that shall remain forever. To all the athletes, coaches, officials, volunteers, and friends of the Olympic sport of modern pentathlon, I wish you a very successful and rewarding event. Thank you.
Okay, so we've already had the fencing round robin when all of the teams have fenced each other, and then we went on to the swim. So as a result of that, we have our top three teams who are also the top three in the fence. In third place at the moment, it is the team of Poland, Octavia Nowaska and Jaroslav Svendeski, and they have a total of 563 points, so they're looking to get a few more bonus points. In second place, they were third after the fence. They came third in the swim as well. It's the team of Russia, Anna Buryak and Alexander Lesun. And currently leading, it's Egypt again. But the brother, we saw Amro yesterday leading after the fence and the swim. It's his brother, Omar Al-Jaziri and Heidi Morsi, who are leading the way with 578 points at this early stage in the competition.
Okay, so what you're going to see, we're going to bring the teams up in just a couple of seconds. And how this is going to work, the ladies start first. So the women will fence. They will fence for one touch. Then the men come up. And if the team on the right, for example, is winning 1-0, the men come up. It's the first team to 2. So if the man over here gets a point, 2-0, over. The gentleman over here, the athlete here, he would have to score 1. That would tie it. He would need another one to win. So it's the team who gets 2 points. That's the winner. Now, if it's a tie, the men will stay up. They will have 30 seconds, sudden death. Next touch wins. If there's still a tie after that sudden death period, the higher ranked team moves on. All right, are we ready? Let's bring in the athletes. The team from Belarus, Shishkanal and Prokopenko.
And then we have on the left the team from Japan, Shamazu and Shimano.
Again, this is one-touch FA fencing. You can hit the person on any part of the body, the foot, the hand, the face, anything counts. Anything goes.
So these teams have been ranked from their points so far this morning, and these teams are in 14th and 15th place, looking to get some bonus points and move themselves up the ranking. So it's the team of Belarus on the right, looking for the green light. The team of Japan on the left, looking for the red.
Double touch. If both lights come on, that means both fences are hit at the exact same moment and nothing counts.
And you can see the clock in the middle there counting down. If we end up with 0, it's the higher ranked team that take it.
And it's another double touch. There's 7 seconds remaining. Only 4 seconds.
It'll go down to the men's fight if the women end up with 0-0.
At a red light, we got Japan, a 1-0 lead.
So now we welcome the boys. It is, again, Belarus against Japan. Belarus must win this hit to stay in the game.
Again, it's the first team to 2. We're looking for the second. Japan needs just 1. Belarus needs 2.
So if we end up with 1-1 at this stage, as Rob said, it goes into a final fight that will decide the winner. If Japan win this hit, it's game over for Belarus.
Belarus on the right looking for the green light, Japan for the red.
The referee just calling halt. The athletes have a chance to collect themselves.
And it's a green light. He's got 1. Ties it up.
Okay, so it is 1-1. This is the deciding fight. It is Belarus on the right, Japan on the left. Whoever wins this hit will stay on the piste to fight again.
Waiting for the clock to count down to 30. They begin from there. There's 3 seconds to go. And
a lot of pressure on this fight.
next single light takes it.
These athletes need all the points they can get.
15 seconds, and he does it! Japan over Belarus!
So we say goodbye to the team of Belarus, and we get ready to welcome our next team, Rob.
All the way from south of the border, from Chile, we have Bustos and Rosas.
So Chile are the higher ranked team after this morning's fence. Okay, so it is men first. We're alternating on our way up through the bonus ladder. So the men stay on. It's the men to take the first fight. So Chile on the right. Japan still on the left.
Japan's looking for the red light, Chile for the green. Bustos from Chile on the right, he's very fast. Again, a touch can be scored, and it's a green light! Chile gets it, 1-0. And we bring up the ladies.
So Chile looking for one more green light to guarantee them an extra bonus point.
Chile leading 1-0. Japan needs 2. Again, touch could be scored any part of the body. "20 seconds. Japan does it.
So we bring it to a draw again. And this
Got a
means
1-1.
the ladies stay on and they fight the deciding fight. Who will take the bonus point? Who will move up the ladder?
1-1. Winner take all now. Chile on the right, Japan on the left. Score 1-1. We're in 20 seconds. Eight seconds. 5, 4, and it's a green light. Chile! Chile advances over Japan.
So Japan take the 1 bonus point from their earlier fight. But we say goodbye to them as we get ready to welcome our next team on the piste.
From Kazakhstan, we have Victoria and Bacharabotko. Kazakhstan.
So it will be the girls to fight first as they prepare themselves. Their teammates waiting ready.
Kazakhstan finished 12th this morning. We have 15 teams we're going through. We're on team number 12. Chile on the right looking for the green. Kazakhstan looking for that red light on the left.
Each point that they accumulate here equals 1 second, as we mentioned earlier. All the points throughout the day are converted
10
to seconds.
5, 4, 3, and a green light for Chile!
So, Chile do it again. Can they do one more? It's all coming down to Esteban Bustos. Can he do it for his team? Can he win his next fight? If he loses this next hit, we go to another tiebreak.
We have Bustos from Chile on the right, looking for that green light. Turin from Kazakhstan on the left. Kazakhstan needs to get 2 here to keep going. "20 seconds. Double touch.
Now this morning, these athletes all fenced against each other in the round robin. They had a minute per fight, so this is sped up fencing now with just the 30 seconds per round.
Again, any part of the body. Sometimes, and it's a green light, and Chile takes it. 2-0. Oh yeah, for Chile.
Okay, so that's goodbye to Kazakhstan, but it is hello to USA.
And let's welcome Margot Isaacson and Dennis Boucher.
So it will be Boucher versus Bustos for the first round It is Team 11 against Team 13. Chile still looking for the green light. USA looking for the red.
We have Bustos and Bowser. 20 seconds. 15.
And USA looking to add another medal to their tally after Margot Isaacson winning the silver in the women's individual.
USA! All right, let's welcome Margot Isaacson, the silver medalist in the women's individual. And her opponent, Javier Rosas.
So it is Chile on the right, going for that green. USA on the left, going for the red. Chile must win this to stay in the game. The USA being the highest ranked team of this pair after this morning's round robin.
15. 10.
And Chile have to do something soon.
4, 3. All right, USA, rock and roll.
So well done to Chile. They got their extra bonus points, but we say goodbye to them. Well done, guys. But now we get ready to welcome our next team. Again, we're staying south of the border. It is
from Guatemala, Isabella Brown and Charlie Fernandez.
So it will be the girls to fence first. Isabella Brand on your right-hand side, Margot Isaacson on your left. This Guatemalan team, less experienced, but they didn't let that get in their way yesterday. We saw Charles Fernandez finish in the top 6 in the men's final. And they'll be looking to move up through the rankings today in this mixed relay. So Guatemala ranked 10th after this morning's round. USA ranked 11th. And we're just waiting for the clock to count down. It is 30 seconds per fight these athletes have.
Dennis.
Okay.
A little bit of team support from their teammates there. It's one of the nice things of doing a relay. You're working together throughout the day.
Guatemala, Isabella Brand takes a one-touch lead over Margot Isaacson. It's up to Bowser now, Dennis Bowser. Sergeant Dennis Bowser from the United States Army. It's up to him.
So Guatemala 1-0 up. USA have to win this to stay in the competition. It is Charles Fernandez of Guatemala versus Dennis Bowser of USA.
Guatemala on the right, looking for the green light. USA looking for the red.
Ready, pass.
20 seconds.
And these athletes have already fenced each other in yesterday's final and already again this morning, so they'll know what to look out for, what to expect.
10. And he does it! Dennis Bowser ties it up! 1-1!
Okay, it's gonna come down to the boys. It is 1-1, Guatemala against USA. Guatemala must win this to stay in the game. USA must win this to stay in the game.
Winner take all, one touch.
We're just waiting.
We gotta bring the clock
Holding
down
the
to 30.
suspense. Can the home favorites take this hit and move on up and get that extra bonus point that they need?
One touch anywhere on the body. Anything counts. "15 seconds. 10. 5, 4, 3, and Guatemala takes down Team USA!
So now we say goodbye to USA and we welcome, staying south of the border again, it is
From Mexico, Elena Noguera and Jorge Zuzá.
So it will be the boys who stay on to take this first fight of the bonus round. We are now moving up through the team sheet. It is team ranked 10th, Guatemala, against the 9th ranked team of Mexico on your left.
Guatemala looking for the green light, Mexico the red.
Ready, fence.
Score 0-0.
At this stage of the competition, there's less than 50 seconds separating the top 10 teams, and that can end up
10
a very
seconds.
small margin.
5, and Guatemala, double light, double touch.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
3, and Guatemala keeps it going. 1-0 over Mexico.
So can Isabel Brandt keep it going for Guatemala, or will Elena Noguera from Mexico spoil this run the Guatemalans seem to have right now? It's all down to the girls. It will be the girls that decide. If Guatemala win this point, they are straight through. If Mexico win this point, we go round to the final fight.
Guatemala looking for the green, Mexico the red. "15. 10 seconds. It's a red light for Mexico. Red light. Yep. Touch. Awarded.
Okay, so that is 1-1.
1-1.
It is 1 for Guatemala, 1 for Mexico. The girls stay on the piste and they get ready to fight again. The winner of this next fight will stay on. Guatemala have been moving up through the rankings, but unless they win this next hit, we'll say goodbye to them. However, if Mexico lose and Guatemala take it, they can move on up and take another bonus point to add to their score from the fence and the swim. Already happened earlier this morning. "20
seconds.
Bit of
15.
team support here coming from the Guatemalan teammate of Isabella Brand.
10.
Referee calling halt.
5 seconds to go.
The clock will stop. Athletes will check the time.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, referee just decided that the Guatemalan athlete, she got the hit, but she actually had left the piste, so it didn't count.
2 seconds remaining. Next touch wins.
And that was time.
Time elapsed.
So there we go, that is 1-1, but that means that the higher ranked team, which was Mexico, stay on the piste. So we say goodbye to Guatemala. Okay, so that means goodbye to Guatemala. Hello to China.
We have from China, Zhang and Chao.
So the girls are starting us off here. China on the right, Mexico on the left. Now Zhang, fencing on the right for China, actually has the modern pentathlon fencing world record. So you would say she should be favourite here. But can Mexico upset things?
China on the right, Mexico on the left. China looking for the green light. Mexico the red. Score 0-0.
Now Zhang from China actually came from a boxing background.
15.
So she'll be very quick on her feet.
10. 5, 4, 3, 2. Double touch. Two seconds remaining. Double touch, only 1 second.
So if nothing happens here, it'll come down to the boys.
And that's time. All right, it's all up to the men now.
Okay, so 0-0 there, Mexico against China. That means that the men will decide it with this next fight. We won't have a draw. It will be decided.
We've got Jorge Izunza from Mexico and Cao from China.
The deciding fight.
Next touch wins.
So China ranked 8th after this morning's fencing. Mexico ranked 9th. China are the favorites.
15 seconds. 10. 5, 4, 3.
And it goes
takes it.
to
We
China.
have a winner.
So well done, China. China, stay on. We say goodbye to Mexico. And we head to Europe.
And we're going to bring up all the way from Italy, Joe Tucci and Ricardo De Luca.
Now it will be the men first. Ricardo De Luca for Italy. He actually won in the first World Cup last season, so in the men's individual. But frustratingly for him, he did miss out. Didn't even make the final here for the men's competition yesterday. So he'll be looking to really make an impact today in the mixed relay.
China on the right, looking for the green light. Italy on the left, looking for the red. DeLuca from Italy, one of the great runners of the sport. And DeLuca takes this, got the 1. Italy, 1-0. And we bring up the ladies.
And there we go, Riccardo DeLuca making his point. He wants to move up through the rankings and really threaten the medals at the end of today's mixed relay.
From China, we have Zhang, and from Italy, Gloria Tocci. Italy has a 1-touch lead. China needs 2 to keep going.
And the athlete just left the piece, so the referee calling halt. The clock stops, and the athletes have a chance to get back on guard.
Got to get hold of that blade. 20 seconds. The athlete's fencing on the edge of the strip. And China ties it up.
Okay, so it's going to be down to the girls. Can Zhang from China overtake Italy and push them off the board, off the piste?
We've got a 1-1 tie. The next touch takes it. Fixing her uniform. As the clock ticks down to 30, we start the match.
Now, Italy are the higher ranked team after this morning's round robin fencing. They're ranked 7th against China, ranked 8th. But it is the combined scores of the men and women together that equaled those positions.
High score in this mixed relay match. All right, Italy! Italy keeps going, takes down China.
Okay, so goodbye China, but it is hello Ireland.
And representing Ireland, we're bringing up Natalia Coyle, Arthur Langan O'Keefe.
So we really are into the top few now. The Irish team ranked 6th after the fence. They had a very good, strong swim as well, so they've moved up even further. But this is a chance for them to get a few more bonus points to add to that score.
Italy ranked number 7, Ireland ranked number 6. You got the 6th and 7th ranked teams here. Fencing it off, score is 0-0. Ireland on the right, looking for that Irish green. Italy looking for the red. And it's Italy 1-0. Italy 1-0. Gloria Tocci. And it's up for the men now. From Ireland, Arthur Langan O'Keefe.
And for Italy, Riccardo DeLuca. So can Italy upset the ranking order here? They're the lower ranked team in 7th against the higher ranked team, Ireland in 6th.
DeLuca has a 1-touch lead. Italy has a 1-touch lead over Ireland. Langan O'Keefe's going to have to score 2 to keep going. $20 seconds. 15. 10. And Italy keeps it going over Ireland. The luck of the Irish ran out as Italy keeps moving. This way.
Okay, so we're now heading north of the border.
And let's welcome from Canada, Melanie McCann, and Joshua Riker Fox. The men will start first, so we'll have Josh Riker-Fox starting for Canada. Riccardo De Luca for Italy. The score will be 0-0 as the men kick it off.
So don't forget, these athletes have already fenced in the round robin earlier this morning, where they all fenced each other to one hit. And then they had the 2x100 meter swimming relay. And now here we are at the bonus round of the fencing.
Canada looking for the green light, Italy the red.
So it's really getting important, these points now. The top 8 are within 40 seconds of each other. And if you think each point is worth a second, these bonus points
12
are
seconds.
incredibly valuable.
8, 5, 4, 3. Whoops.
And what happened there, Rob?
So what you saw there is Riccardo De Luca thought he had the touch. Riccardo. He doesn't want to do it. It's all right, just give it to him. Do it.
What happened, Rob? So who got it?
Canada has a one-touch lead.
Okay, so it's down to the girls to decide this fight. A little bit of confusion there. But it was Riccardo just turning his back, thought he'd won the hit for Italy. Turns out Canada got it.
20 seconds. Canada with the one-touch lead over Italy. Italy needs 2. 15 seconds.
And the judge calling halt.
No touch.
And the girls
10
will reset.
seconds.
Italy must win this if they're going to stay in the game.
Double touch with 5 seconds to go.
Italy very much on the attacking foot. They know they need this hit.
4, and Canada takes it 2-0.
So after a little bit of a touchy start there for Canada, they won over Italy. They stay on, they get the bonus points, and they get ready to fight the next team from Argentina.
All the way from Buenos Aires, we have Koklova and Zapata. And by the way, these are...
Okay, so the girls are taking this fight on. It is the 5th ranked team of Canada against the 4th ranked team of Argentina.
Koklova from Argentina on the left, Melanie McCann from Canada on the right. Canada's looking for the green light, Argentina the red. Score 0-0. 20 seconds. 15.
And it goes to Argentina!
Argentina takes a one-touch lead. It's going to be up to Josh Riker-Fox from Canada to try to bring it up and keep going. He'll need 2 hits to advance.
So the boys will decide this round.
From Argentina, Emmanuel Zapata on the left, looking for the red light. Josh Riker-Fox on the right, looking for the green for Canada. It's an all-American match here. We've got Canada, Argentina.
We've just got a little problem with the spool moving, following the fencer down the piste.
That works like a fishing line. 15. 10.
The athletes need to be aware of the back line. If they go off the back of the piste.
Riker Fox does it. He ties it up. 1-1. Canada, Argentina. The next touch wins.
So you can see Argentina on that time getting very close to the back line. If you overstep that with both of your feet, then the point goes to the other side. So the athletes are aware of the markings on the piste. You see the lines in the middle there for the on-guard line. And then there's a line behind that that warns them they're getting near the back of the piste. And the final gold line is a line that they must not cross.
Double touch. 23 seconds to go.
You can feel the tension building now. These athletes want that hit. They know this hit will mean the victory.
20 seconds. Another double touch with 16 seconds to go.
And Riker Fox for Canada really pushing Zapata down the piste.
Again, the doubles. Doubles simply mean both fencers hit exactly the same moment. As we go into 10 seconds. And Canada advances over Argentina. Riker Fox, Melanie McCann take down Zapata and Koklova.
So Canada stay to fight another round. It's goodbye Argentina. But we get ready to welcome the team of Russia.
And the team of Russia, let's bring up Anna Buryak and Alexander Lassoon. Alexander Lassoon, the first competitor for Russia. He's won it all, ladies and gentlemen. The World Cups, the World Championship. He is one of the greatest athletes the sport has ever seen. Up against Josh Riker Fox from Canada.
So we have the Canadians on the right who are ranked 5th after this morning's fencing. And on the left, it is the Russian team ranked 3rd. The men will start us off. And it'll come down to the women to decide who goes up to the next round.
Only 4 teams remaining. Score 0-0. The men looking for one touch. 15 seconds. Russia looking for the red, and it's a double touch with 12 seconds to go. Canada looking for the green light, Russia the red.
And that was a decisive attack from Canada's Riker Fox. Just didn't quite pay off.
It was a
Getting
gamble.
the double.
Good effort. 10 seconds.
And that must be a double again. So judge calls halt. Just unaware of the back line. He's just trying to edge forwards there. As Riker Fox attacks.
Lassoon from Russia. Single line. Russia gets the hit. 1-0 over Canada. So 1-0 lead as we welcome the ladies. It'll be Melanie McCann from Canada on the right.
Against Anna Buryak from Russia on the left.
Russia with the one-touch lead. It'll be up to Melanie McCann. She'll need to tie it up with 1 and then go ahead with 2 to advance over Russia. The Russians are perennial favorites. They are great fencers, but Canada's giving them a bout.
And we really are getting to the top half of the draw now. And this is where the points become even more important.
Canada looking for the green light, Russia the red. Russia has a one-touch lead. And 20 seconds. And Russia got it. They do it over Canada. That's as simple as it gets.
So
2-0.
Canada have to settle for the 2 bonus points. That'll be added to their score. That's a valuable 2 seconds. They'll take on to the final event of the combined when we get there. But now, to fight Russia, it will be the team of Poland.
Let's welcome up Yaroslav Swiderski and Octavia Nowaska. It'll be the ladies leading off. We'll have from Poland, Octavia Nowaska. On the right, looking for the green light.
Now we've got some fresh athletes here. Nowaska did not make it through to the final in the women's individuals, so she'll have fresh legs ready for the combined event. Anna Buriak competing just 2 days ago in the women's individual final competition. Now Nowaska from Poland actually won the World Cup final held here last year down in Sarasota. So she's obviously got a bit of luck in this venue.
Buriak from Russia. And Russia takes it, has a one-touch lead over Poland, 1-0. Makes it look simple. We're walking up the men now from Russia, Alexander Lesun.
And it is for Poland, Swiderski. Both of these athletes very fresh. Lesun ranked #1 in the world at the moment, but just missed out on the final. That just goes to show how tough the competition is here at this first World Cup. So these 2 athletes haven't competed since the semi-final. They've had 2 days to rest and get ready for this mixed relay.
Alexander Lesun, current world champion. The greatest fencer in the sport. Russia looking for the red light, Poland the green. Russia with a one-touch lead. They need one more to ice Poland. "20 seconds.
So Poland ranked 2nd, Russia ranked 3rd after the fence. Poland are the favourites,
10 seconds.
but they have to win 2 hits now in order to stay in the competition.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so that is
Time.
a win to Russia. The score 1-0 to Russia. We say goodbye to Poland.
Russia takes the lead, keeps moving as we welcome up the next team.
Okay, so we are now down to the final round. This will decide who wins the overall fencing bonus round. Please welcome the team of Egypt.
And from Egypt we have Heidi Morrissey and Omar El Jassiri.
So we'll start with the men. It will be Omar El Jassiri for Egypt on the right-hand side against Alexander Lesun on the left. Yesterday we saw Omar's brother Amro win the fence and win the fencing bonus round. Can Egypt win it again today?
El Jassiri on the right from Egypt looking for the green light. The world champion Lesun on the left from Russia looking for the red. Score 0-0. These are the 2 best teams in the competition.
Ready? Fence. And it's very tight at the top. A win here means an extra second over their teammates.
And El Jassiri does it! 1-0. He's got a one-touch lead. A 1-point lead for Egypt. Heidi Morrissey from Egypt has to keep it going. So
Just a little bit of affection and a few words of encouragement in the air there for Heidi Morsi of Egypt as she gets ready to take on Anna Buriak of Russia.
Anna Buriak from Russia will be looking for the red light, while Heidi Morrissey from Egypt is looking for that green, that one touch to be the champions of the bonus round.
And it's not just champion of the bonus round, it's an extra point to add to their total score. An extra valuable second to take into the combined. Now left-handed Morsi just wanting to take the left-hand side of the piste. The referee trying to move them into the middle there.
20 seconds. Egypt only needs one touch. And they get it! Egypt takes the title and the bonus points. El Jazari and Morsi.
And Egypt do it 2 days in a row, topping the fencing and winning the bonus round. Well done to Egypt, and good luck to our competitors as they go and get ready for the riding event.
And ladies and gentlemen, will be a quick short course turnover. The riding course is open, and we'll have the riding event momentarily.
2:30, the presentation of the horses. 3 o'clock, the first team in the ring. Okay.
Hello and welcome. You are joining us now at the riding phase of World Cup 1 mixed relay. And I've just got a cannon being exploded next to me, I think. Okay, that was a misfire. I'm hoping that's going to have finished in just a moment as we have our first rider into the ring already. So we're starting with the lowest ranked team after the fence and swim this morning. First into the arena, it is the team of Belarus. Anastasia Prokopenko and Pavel Sikhanov. Okay, if you can hear any screaming in the background, that's the kids excited by the cannon. But anyway, we're back to the riding now. It is Belarus starting in 15th position at this point of the competition. They've come and saluted, and it's off to the box where these athletes in the team relay have to start the competition. It'll be the girls to ride first, so Anastasia Prokopenko, who will be riding Cesar, and she is off. So we're over the first fence, just 8 fences in this mixed relay. There are no combinations, so clear over the first 3. And they're all separate fences. That means that if they have a problem at one of them, they only have to, and there's a pole. Pole costs 7 points. And 7 points is 7 seconds when it comes to the combined. Now, Prokopenko didn't have a very strong individual competition, so she'll be looking to move up through the rankings today. So just the 1 pole so far, and the athletes come into the transition box. They must both be in there at the same time before the next one can leave, but not a good start for teammate Sikhanov from Belarus, as he has a run out at the first fence. And he's just approaching off the left rein now. And not a straight line, took the pole with him. So that adds to their total score. It's still a total score of 300. And another pole goes down. It's still a total score of 300 that the athletes can accrue in the ride. That's the score they start with, and any fault, either poles knocked down, refusals, run outs, or time penalties, take the points off that maximum of 300. So this team of Belarus currently on 279. Still 2 fences left to go. 279, the maximum they can score. But I think they might have a few time faults after the refusal at the beginning. So allowed time of 1 minute, 28 seconds. So we'll wait and see as to how many points we add onto that. 1 minute 40 in total. So 12 seconds over, that'll be an extra 12 penalties added to their score. And that gives them a score of 250 points for the first team into the riding event at this mixed team relay here at World Cup 1 in Sarasota. Don't think we're going to be seeing Belarus threatening for the medals later today. We've got 15 teams in total. They started in 15th place before the ride, and unless there's a lot of more problems for the next few riders, I expect they'll still be in 15th when it comes to the start of the combined event later today. So in the mixed relays you just saw, there are 2 riders, 1 male, 1 female, and when it comes to the riding event, they each have a horse. The horses are drawn in pairs, so they're already paired up, before the draw happens. And the leading team, which happens today to be the team of Egypt, they will have drawn the horse out of the hat, or the pair of horses, and then the rest of the riders are assigned their horse accordingly. It's all done electronically now. So these horses in pairs, we actually welcome the next team into the arena. So they're ranked 14th after this morning's events. And it is the Chilean team, Esteban Bustos and Javier Rosas. And they're riding Reeve and MCN horses, which we've become familiar with. We've seen these two horses compete in the last 2 days, both in the men's final and the women's final. Seems like they've paired the horses in looks as well as capability. So the teams should be as fair as possible. And the riders can choose between them. So they'll get in the warm-up and might well make up their minds once they've had a bit of a practice. So they can swap right up to the last minute as to which horse they choose to ride. So it is starting again with the girls. So Javier Rosas is underway. First 5 fences clear so far. Still holding that maximum elusive score of 300. All the riders are hoping to get. And throughout the day, oh, that's one pole down. Throughout the day, the points are all added up. We've already had the fencing, both the bonus round and the accumulator, and the swim. And those points are converted to give the places that they have so far. So this team in 14th at this stage. A round of applause there as the first round finished. The total time of 1 minute 28. It doesn't pause at all when the riders go into transition. So you want a very quick transition, but the boys must wait until the girl has come back and entered the collecting area that we see at the finish until they can leave. Otherwise, penalties will be given. Just rolled again, the same fence as teammate, so that's fence 5. So down to 286 points for the Chile team. Coming into the last 2, so no combinations, but these distances are related. And the riders would have walked it accordingly, but didn't take that into account there. And not a bad stride, but just didn't quite pick the horse, help the horse pick its feet up. And again, we've got some time faults, 10 seconds. So that's going to take a few more points off their score and give them a total of 268. So they will stay well above the Belarusian team, but whether they move up any further, we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the field go. So here today, it's the final competition, the final day of competition after a total of 5 in Sarasota, the first World Cup of the season. We started off a few days ago with the men's and women's semi-finals. Yesterday we saw Great Britain win another title in the men's final event. The women's Samantha Murray won the final event for the individual on Friday as well. But sadly, no Great Britain team competing today, so you might hear my voice just about surviving through the day. But still, it's going to be an exciting competition. 15 teams entered in this World Cup, this mixed relay final. No qualifier needed for this. The athletes are here competing in the actual World Cup. They can then enter a team, and the countries have to choose just one male and one female athlete in which to enter. Some of them might use this as an opportunity to enter a young team, give them experience, and they automatically get the chance to ride, which as an individual, you only get to ride if you've qualified for the final. So some of those younger athletes, it might be a first chance for them riding on the World Cup stage. So here we are with Chile starting off. Sorry, we're on to Japan. We've got Reina Shimazu from Japan into the arena first. And so far clear over the first 5 fences. So the horses Stretch and Jet being drawn by the team of Japan. So quite a sharp turn there from fence 6 to 7. There's a flower pot put there just to help the athletes, give them a bit of a marker. I think quite a few of them were using that to navigate their way around the course, just to help stop the horse from falling in. So this is teammate Hikaru Shimano taking over for the second round. The girls have to go first in this ride. Just lost momentum, didn't have any energy going into fence 3, and the horse took the front rail with him. It's looking very steady here, and as we've seen already, time faults for both of our first 2 teams. I think the athletes need to watch that, have a listen, and actually realise that, you know, the course is well built, but they need to keep moving, and we're definitely going to have time faults here. As Shimano loses his right stirrup, and he's coming around, taking a long turn, so a run out, so that's an extra 10 penalties that will come off their score. And again, just not got a solid seat there. His feet coming out the stirrups, you can see no weight down through his feet, and hasn't really got much of a say on where the horse goes, but let's hope he's a little bit luckier for the last 2 fences of this round. And not very stable in the saddle at all there. But the horse, very good, takes him through. I think there's a little bit of work to be done on the riding for the Japanese team, but a score of 266 accrued for them. Again, we're not going to see much of a threat for this pair as we move on through the riding. So that's the first 3 teams done. We've got 12 teams to go. So again, as the individual we saw yesterday, the ride was split into 2 rounds. We have the lower ranked athletes after the fence and the swim who will be going in the first round. So we've seen our 3 lowest ranked teams, and I think it's probably fair to say we're not going to see them threatening for any medals at the end of today, unless there's a lot of problems in the ride going forwards. But the idea of the 2 rounds, it's the same set of horses are used twice. So all these horses we're seeing going at the moment, they have also been drawn by the athletes ranked higher. So those athletes will be watching these horses very closely, working out which one of their teammates wants to ride which horse and learning from the mistakes that we've seen so far. And one of those being especially the time. I don't think it's particularly fast, but the riders really need to make sure they've got that good forward rhythm. There's no combinations here, so it's very much a matter of making sure you keep moving in between each fence. You want to stay collected, you want to keep the energy, but there's no chance for hanging about on this course either. At this wonderful setting, but a little bit limited for space. Anyway, we are back with the competition, so entering the arena now. Ah, and I recognise these horses. We've got Cindy Lou and Elegant, both of names which stuck from the last 2 days. So these horses have been around. It's a different course today. The course has been shortened to make it suitable for the relay format. But we have in the arena Dennis Bauscher from the USA and Margot Isaacson, who will be starting first. It's women first in the mixed relay in every event. And then the time will keep running. So it's a total time allowed in this ride course of 1 minute 28 seconds. Any time over that does mean a point off the potential total of 300. So we see Margot setting off, and I can tell you Margot's on Cindy Lou. Recognise this very colourful horse. And the crowd applauding and gasping at every fence. 100% behind their home favourites, the USA team here, but Cindy Lou, plenty of energy left. 3rd day riding here, but Margot was very lucky at fence 5. Just got a little bit too flat in between those 2 fences and rolled the top pole, but it stayed. Cindy Lou on the whole giving plenty of air to these fences. Just the last 2 to go for Margot till she hands over to teammates. Dennis Bauscher, 1 fence left, and unlucky. You can hear the crowd applauding for the round, but frustration gasps as well as Margot takes 1 pole there. So handing over to Dennis Bauscher with a score of 293 as it stands. Dennis off to a good start. That sharp left turn, similar to what we saw yesterday. Fence 3 and 4 haven't really changed very much, but we have no combinations. Each fence is an individual fence, so any problems, they just have to reapproach that one and don't have to worry about second or potentially third part of any combinations. But just 2 to go. These are related distances still, so he'll need to sit up nicely. Oh, he took a stride out instead. And I'm not sure if you can hear the crowd, but they're loving their home team, the USA team of Margot Isaacson and Dennis Bauscher. And they are inside the time. So these two both enjoying the crowd. And scoring a total of 289 points. Best ride we've seen so far and the most encouraging. It was good to see the riders just riding forwards there. Still a few time faults though. So just those 4 time faults, 1 pole, giving them the score of 289. So we're up to the 11th ranked team into the arena next. It will be the team of Kazakhstan, Olga Boyko and Denis Churin. And they are riding entire Otto and bombed again. Bombed again, I know, didn't go in the women's, but I distinctly remember him from yesterday. He didn't seem to bomb. Remember him being one of the more consistent horses that we should expect to see today. So if you've just joined us now, you're tuning in to watch the live feed of the World Cup 1 mixed relay final. We're onto the riding phase. We've already had the fencing round robin this morning and the swimming 2x100 meter relay. And then we came over here to the riding and combined events where we had the bonus round of fencing. New this season as its debut at the World Cup level. And the athletes had to fence again. The opportunity to win bonus points to take forward. So the bonus points were added onto their total scores. And then the ranking list that we're using now was derived. So that meant the Kazakhstan team are in 11th, but already 1 pole down for Olga Boyko. As she approaches fence 5 and takes that one with her as well. So you can see on the top right-hand corner, the points falling away. That maximum of 300 already disappeared. And a few of the riders struggling with this line into fence number 6. And the crowd getting very excited as she cleared it, broke back into a trot and managed to somehow retrieve herself. I think that's going to be more time penalties added to this team, but it depends on her teammate Denis Churin, but wasting a lot of time in transition. You've really got to be ready to leave that box as soon as you see your teammate coming in over that last fence. You want to be on your way out. The crowd getting very excited with the ride here today. And Denis Churin looking a little bit novice in his riding, holding the horse really tight and just causing it to not be able to relax over that fence and take that back rail with him. I think he could have a few more rails if he doesn't start to relax a bit more. You can see just about enough leg, but too much hand. He's holding him really tight in the mouth. Lucky. Very lucky there through that last part. It's going to say combination. Related distance, fence 7 and 8. Just the 8 fences in total. So we'll wait to see the time faults, but they're bound to have some quite slow, especially on the changeover. Yeah, 1 minute 40, so a whopping 12 seconds over the time. That's going to be added to the poles they had, giving them a score of 272. Okay, so we're going to be hoping to see some slightly smoother, higher scoring riding as we move up through the ranking, through the riding start list. This is the first round still, so the lower ranked athletes after this morning. Now, those of you watching, a few days ago it looked similar, it looked sunny like this, but actually it was surprisingly cold. Seems to be warming up day by day as the competition goes on. Actually had to get the umbrella up today to hide from this glorious Florida sunshine. And we're going to be back here again next year. The Sarasota hosted the World Cup final last year, 2014. And they decided to start the season with World Cup 1 this year. And I've been told that we're actually back here again for World Cup final, which will be a very important Olympic ranking point competition next year at the end of the World Cup season. So a bit later in the year, it's going to be pretty hot. Well, two athletes who aren't afraid of a bit of heat. It is the team of Guatemala coming into the arena now. Charles Fernandez and Isabel Brand. Now, Charles Fernandez had a storming competition yesterday. Only 18 years of age, competing in his first World Cup, and he finished 6th. An incredible result for the young athletes, and great to see Guatemala putting themselves on the map. Not a country we've seen any great strength of over the recent years. And to come 6th in a strong World Cup when the world #1 didn't even qualify for the final, it's a really encouraging result for the young Charles Fernandez. But anyway, it's over to his teammate Isabel Brand from Guatemala as she starts off the ride. Isabel, a strong rider. Her sister might well be at home, Stephanie Brand, watching this, who rides for the junior Guatemalan eventing team. I'm sure she'll be giving her sister a few tips. I know both of these girls ride regularly at home in Guatemala City. And we hosted the Biathlon Triathlon World Championships there last autumn, so I got to spend a bit of time with the Brand family. Oh, and unfortunate there for Isabel as she takes fence 6 down. Now this horse, very comfortable, but a little bit long, but got away with it through that related distance. So just a 1 pole for Isabel as she hands over to Charles Fernandez, her teammate from Guatemala. So Charles Fernandez on Grafton. Looks like he's got a slightly more lively, springy horse, but didn't quite get him together in time for fence 3. Took that top pole again. And just didn't bring him back. So these distances are related, and the riders would have walked to know how many strides to take between fence 4 and fence 5. And Charles should have just sat back a little bit more. A valuable pole that went there. I mean, he had a much stronger ride yesterday, which kept him in the top 6 in the individual. Not having quite such a strong day today. And lucky there. Horse just giving him a little bit of challenge, trying to run out to the left, but well ridden by Charles as he kept him in, and just a two poles. So that was a total of 3 poles between them and a couple of time penalties. Probably just wasted where Charles having to check his horse and just bring him back in there, especially at the end. So total of 279. The second best ride that we've had so far this morning. So we're going from the very young, less experienced Guatemalan team. We really are just having a great time out here. Both of the athletes qualified for their finals. We saw them compete yesterday. There's the men's final, Friday the women's. Great experience for these young athletes. And as I said, Charles getting the 6th place. Just what a start to his season. But we're going to move on to the experienced pairing today. Canada's Melanie McCann and Joshua Riker-Fox. Both very friendly athletes who I've known for years. And it's great to see them competing in this mixed relay. Canadian team coming 9th after the swim and the fence this morning. And I can tell you they actually finished 5th after the fencing. Strong fence for the Canadian pairing, but not such a strong swim. A combined time of 2 minutes 5 seconds. So it's a 2 by 100 meter relay. And the time converted to points. So they finished 14th overall in the swimming, which put them down in 9th. But it's pretty close. So they're in 9th, but they're actually only 44 seconds off the leader. So that means the top 9 teams within 44 seconds. If you think about it, 1 pole is a whole 7 seconds. So a few poles can completely change the standing order that we've got here this afternoon. So a clear ride for this Canadian couple could make a significant difference. So they've saluted to the box, to the judges, and then they head into their changeover box where they get the hooter. And then the time will start when they cross that start line. So So no worries until then, but once they're over that start line, the time is ticking down. It's 1 minute 28, the optimum time, and that is the time allowed before any penalties accrued. So Melanie McCann starting off on Sultana Conejo. Maybe he's Sultana Caneo, probably come up from Mexico, I would guess. But lucky there, very lucky on fence number 5. We've seen that one roll in its cups a few times. I think it might be a slightly irregular distance between fence 4 and 5, and the athlete's just not quite respecting that. But clear so far for Melanie McCann. And that is a clear round for Melanie McCann as she hands over to her teammate, Canadian Joshua Riker-Fox. So the pressure is on Josh. Can he keep this clear? I think Mel was well inside the time. It was a very smooth round to watch. And Josh, coming from a riding background, he's taken a couple of years out actually from pentathlon. I hadn't seen him for a while, and he tells me he's been riding a lot of show jumpers. So his experience not quite showing there, and he just tried. You could see him trying to bring the horse back, and the horse wasn't quite listening. So sadly, wasn't as lucky as his teammate Melanie, and fence number 5 did come down, but he's got him back under control now. And takes a nice tight turn into the final combination, slowing him up, keeping him controlled, and yeah, just controlled him enough. So that's the best ride we've seen so far. Really unfortunate to see fence 5 go down. But it was a really nice round to watch. And actually, interestingly, that was exactly the time. They were a total of 1 minute 28, which just shows when ridden properly like that, it looks smooth, it looks pleasant, and it's definitely my favorite round and the best round so far today. The riding experience of the Canadian duo really shining through there, both from that pony club background. They came up through pony club to triathlon and then added the fencing to become pentathletes. So the Canadians could see themselves move up the leaderboard. They've certainly opened the gap behind from those teams behind them. So they were in 9th and had 6 teams behind them, total of 15 competing today. And they will be hoping, probably watching the others closely, seeing if some of those athletes ahead of them have a few more poles. And if they do, the Canadians will see themselves moving up into the top few potentially. So a lovely round. And that's what those horses we'll see again. It was Santana El Conejo and Gone to Carolina. And actually we'll see those 2 horses ridden by the Russian duo later on. It'll be interesting to see if the Russians can do such a good job as the Canadian pair did. So sadly today it is just me who have to put up with my voice for the whole of the ride. My co-commentator doesn't seem to have joined me today. I think they've had enough talking for the weekend. So I'll try and keep it as exciting as I can whilst trying to maintain my voice. I got a little bit carried away yesterday with our British boys doing so well and Jamie Cook winning that gold medal. But no British team competing today, so I'll try and contain my excitement as we get through the riding. That's the starter bell. We have in the arena now the Mexican team. And we start with Elena Nogueda, and she's riding Ironstone. I guess she's not riding Ironstone. As she's on a bay, I think these 2 riders might have swapped. So that means Elena Nogueda is on Anthem. Off to a good start. And taking a long, smooth turn into 4. Now she's going to need to sit up to not take fence 5. And didn't sit up, it clipped it, but the pole has stayed. Those cups seem to be quite deep, and you can see the poles rolling in the cups, but it stayed up, and that's all that counts. No points for style when it comes to pentathlon riding. It is just points for getting round clear. So coming into the final 2 fences, straight down the back. And she gets away with it there. So a clear round for Elena Nogueda from Mexico. She heads over to Jorge Nzunza, and he is riding Ironstone, the lovely grey horse we saw go yesterday in the men's final. So the Mexican pairing in 8th place before this ride. But if they keep this clear total they've got so far, they could see themselves moving up through. Nicely ridden through fence 4 and 5. That's probably one of the slower, but as you saw as a result of that, met that fence 5 at a perfect stride and really enabling the horse to pick its feet up nicely and not touch that pole. So very important now as we come to the last 2. It's a bit steady, but it's safe. And look at that. Yes, we have our first clear round for the Mexican duo, Elena Noguera and Jorge Nzunza. Oh, and just a little bit slow, so that will be 5 time penalties to add to their score, and that will be 5 points taken off the 300. So a score of 295. I've been corrected. It is a score of 288 for the Mexican duo. Still a good ride, but it does put them actually a less scoring ride than the Canadian team. We have 7 teams left to go as we move into the second round. So now we'll see the same horses coming back into the arena, but they will be with different athletes. So in the riding event, the scores of the day so far are added together. This is a mixed relay, so it'll be the boys and the girls' scores added together, both from the fencing round robin this morning, the bonus round of the fencing, and the 2x100 meter swim. And those points make a ranking list. And from that, the riders are ranked 1 to 15 in their teams. And we will see team ranked number 1, which is the Egyptian team of Omar El Jaziri and Hayley Morsi, who will come into the riding arena last. They are at the top of the points before the ride. So if you just joined us and wondering what's happening, we've got a slight pause as we wait for the second round of the riding to start. I can see the athletes in the warm-up arena getting ready to come into this 8-jump course. Now the riders draw a pair of horses and they can decide between them who rides which horse. So all of the horses in the draw are already put in pairs. And obviously the athletes are already in their pair. They draw that combination and they work out between them through the warm-up who is best suited to which horse. And then from there they will do their warm-up, quite possibly swap during the warm-up as well. It's once they're on the horse, they don't have to stay with that horse that they've chosen. So lots will be going on in that warm-up arena. Can sometimes get a little bit stressful. It gets quite crowded, especially in the relay. You've got 2 horses per round rather than 1, and I know in the individual you're only allowed to have 5 horses, 5 individuals warming up, and sometimes that can still be a little bit stressful when you've got some of the countries a bit maybe out of control, galloping around the arena, and you're trying to concentrate on approaching your fence, so you have to abort occasionally. You've only got 5 practice fences, so you don't really want to use up one. So the China team ranked 7th after this morning's event. They had a pretty average fence, finished 8th, middle of the field, moved up slightly with a swim, putting them 4th place in the swim, but that brings them to 7th overall. So we are into the top 7 now as we start round 2 of the riding. So Zhenon Zhang off first. And these pair have drawn MCN and Reeve. We saw this pair of horses ridden by the Chilean athletes who had 3 poles down in total. Already 1 for the Chinese team. And they take another as well, so. One spare if they're going to better the other riders, the Chilean team, but clear the rest of the way for. Oh, I'm very lucky at fence 8 for Zhenon Zhang. She hands over to her teammate, Songguang Cao. These 2 got Reeve and MCN, the 2 horses for this pair. So far 2 poles down, score of 286, but that will only stay if Cao can stay clear and keep them within the time. The time allowed is 1 minute, 28 seconds. So this pairing ranked 7th before the ride. And poles are costly. It's very close in the top 8. And if you think one pole down is 7 seconds, it really could change a lot. But clear so far for Cao. Obviously the 2 poles earlier for his teammate, Zhang. Oh, and Cao does it. So Cao is clear. And let's wait to see if there's any time penalties. 286 from the poles.
Time on course, 87 seconds.
And 1 second inside. So that gives them, they keep that score of 286. So a good ride for the Chinese duo, Zhang and Cao. 2 poles. We'll have to find out if that was costly or not. It depends now on the next few riders. As it gets very close at the top, we move into the top 6. So before the riding event, the Chinese was setting out, or 38 seconds according to the points, 38 seconds behind the leaders. So that can be caught back in the combined quite easily. We saw Donata Rimzaiti from Russia now. She used to be from Lithuania. Donata Rimzaiti moved up from 15th to 4th place in the women's individual competition, and just goes to show that 38 seconds is very little at all. And we start losing 7 seconds here and there for every pole that falls down, the standings could change completely. That makes the riding very exciting. The first round of the riding completed, and we had just started into the top round, round number 2, with the Chinese athletes, and there seems to be some major delay before the Italians enter the arena. So we are hopefully shortly moving into the top 6 teams. This is at the business end of the competition. And this is when it should start to get even more exciting. And yes, here we go. We're moving on, and it is the Italian team, the duo of Riccardo De Luca and Gloria Tocchi. And they are riding Stretch and Jet. And we saw Stretch and Jet ridden by the Japanese combination, who did not have a good day. They scored 266, and the Italians cannot afford to have such a poor riding score. They'll be looking to get as close as possible to the maximum score of 300 points to really put them in contention for the combined event. So saluting the judges as they head into the transition box. And it will be the ladies first. Gloria Tocchi will be starting off the ride for this duo. So clear over 1. And a good start for the Italians. There's knocked 3, but it's still in its cups. It seems to be wedged in like it was a couple of days ago. And this fence 5 seems to quite often go, but Gloria Tocchi rode that nicely and got the correct striding in between those related 4 and 5. Stood off nicely to fence 6 and cleared comfortably. So far a nice round, good tempo. And lovely, she just looks back, didn't need to there, but fence number 8 stayed up as she hands over to teammate Riccardo De Luca. As he's clear so far, you can see the horses really quite hot. It's pretty warm today. We're all very thankful for this lovely breeze, and I'm sure the horses are too. It's been a long 3 days for them. Some of these horses competing all 3 days. Oh my goodness, and Riccardo got that completely wrong. The horse thought he was going to take off, and I think Riccardo was sure, and they just got their striding very wrong. So that is 1 pole down to the Italian team. And another one that's just expensive. 2 poles so far, and they really can't afford that. Riccardo needs to be clear of the last 2 fences. Riccardo De Luca and the Italian team holding the horse just a bit too tight. And you can really see that. That was rider error on that fence number 8. He had the horse so tight in the mouth that it couldn't relax over the fence, and they were lucky to not have more poles there, but frustrating ride for the Italians. They know that that was very costly. So 279 is the final score. They were inside the time. So Gloria Tocchi had a lovely start, handing over to Riccardo De Luca inside the time and with no penalties, but De Luca couldn't quite deliver and took 3 poles down out of just 8 fences. Very expensive that will be to the Italian team when they've got such a strong combined. They were in 6th place, but that's going to see them having a lot of work to do to be in medal contention after that. Frustrating for them, very frustrating. But that's riding for you. That keeps it exciting for us watching anyway. But next, we move on to the Argentinian team. And we recognize Cindy Liu, her wonderful colorings. So it is the Argentinians, Irinia Kokolova, Emmanuel Zapata. Kokolova used to compete for Ukraine, and she's now moved over to Argentina. So Kokolova will be starting the competition, starting the round, and she is riding elegant. So it's not very often we see the Argentinians this far up in the standings. It'll be interesting if they can stay. They're currently ranked 5th before the ride, but that fence 5 just needs a bit more respect. Kokolova just rode right through it, didn't bring her horse back at all, and the horse just had no respect at all for it. So no surprises that pole went. Fast and flat through there, but she got away with it. These fences aren't that big, so the horses can get away with it sometimes. Bit of a sticky start for a teammate as he gets Cindy Liu going. It is Emmanuel Zapata from Argentina riding Cindy Liu. Clear so far. But in really close to fence 3, and Cindy Liu just couldn't pick her feet up. Back into trot. That's going to be costly on the time, but took off from a long way and again took fence 5. I think that's the fence, the nemesis today. But back into trot again. These athletes haven't got the time. There's a time limit of 1 minute 28, and so every time they break back into trot, they're losing not only the rhythm that they have, but also valuable seconds. And seconds mean points, which they can't afford at this stage of the competition. We wait for the score to be added up, but that was 2 poles down. 14 points that Emmanuel Zapata lost, and Kokolova lost the 1. We wait to see 2 time penalties added, so just the 2 seconds over. And that's probably just a difference of dropping back into trot that Zapata had there. So a total of 277. Slightly better than the Italians, so the Argentinian duo will stay so far in 5th above the Italians, but that does depend on what happens next. We're moving into the top 4. An exciting competition here. There's 15 teams entered in this mixed relay, and we've just got 4 left to go, and the 4 that are left are the top 4, and that is according to their points so far from the bonus round of fencing, the 2x100 meter swim relay, and the round robin that started early this morning. Long day for these athletes, and some of these athletes, it'll be their 3rd day of competition. They've had the semi-finals, the finals, and now the mixed relay competition as well, and doing 5 sports 3 times in 5 days is quite some feat. Really just makes you realize how strong these multi-sport athletes have to be. So I know there's some Irish I've been seeing on Twitter, have been tweeting me. If any of you want to say hello, I'm at HeadFL News. And I know some of the Irish are watching this very closely, so here we go with the Irish duo. We'll be starting with Natalia Coyle setting out, and these two, don't want to jinx anything, but they're both very capable riders. And this could be our first 300 points. We've been waiting for that all day. We've had a clear round, but they had time faults earlier on. It was the Canadian duo, who are also from Pony Club, and as are the 2 Irish athletes. Oh no, and Natalia sadly just flattened slightly over fence 5. And it's very frustrating for them. They're in a great position here in the competition in 4th. Great to see the Irish competing at this top level. And they've come on under coach Lindsay Whedon's tuition. Lindsay Whedon was a teammate of mine for Great Britain. She's taking maternity leave now as Andy McKenzie is out here coaching them, and also a retired British modern pentathlete. So So they're in good hands, I can biasedly say. And it's over to Arthur now. 1 pole so far, so a score of 293 as it stands. And Arthur had a couple of poles down in the individual. And he'll be looking to try and rectify that and stay clear today. Just taking his time on that corner, and he's really going to have to sit up and ride fence 5 properly because they can't afford to have it down. And sadly, just got in a little bit too close, and the horse didn't really respect it. The jumps aren't that big today. And sometimes, actually, when the fences are a little bit bigger, it can be that a bit easier to ride. The horses just stand off slightly more. So Arthur, Lanigan O'Keefe, 2 fences left to go. Just got a little bit left behind on that. But he got away with it. And that's 2 poles in total, 1 pole each for the Irish team. And I think the way it's going, they should be fairly happy. But I've just been told the time sounds ridiculous. Like I said, they've got a lot of time faults. So I'm going to wait for that to be confirmed. Yes, they did have time penalties, so down to a score of 270, and that's really frustrating for the Irish. Such strong riders, but lost 30 points, and that's 30 seconds. You can't afford to do that at this top end of the draw. You know, if you look at it like this way, they were ranked 4th before the ride, 23 seconds off the lead. And they've just lost more than that distance, so frustrating. So that is the judging panel. Maybe they're just giving us a friendly wave. Karen Myers on the right, the UIPM competition organizer. So when the athletes come in, the riders come into the arena, they will be saluting those judges. And it's the judges who control the timing, who control the buzzer and give us the overall score of each ride. They've got quite a task up there. They can't afford to make any mistakes. These athletes' careers at stake there. They have to make very quick decisions. We saw a bit of a controversial decision they had to make yesterday. It's one of our British athletes got penalised for unsportsmanlike behaviour. It was Joseph Chung who fell off between fence 9 and 10. And his saddle had actually gone round, so Joe hadn't tightened his girth enough and thought, hang on, if I take part of the fence down, they'll stop the clock. Now, yes, they have to stop the clock, but it was deemed unsportsmanlike behaviour, and the young athlete Joseph Chung will have learned his lesson and won't do that again, I'm sure. Okay, we are back in business. We are about to welcome into the arena the Polish team. Octavia Nowacka, Jaroslav Swiderski. And they have got the duo of Monte Carlo and Grafton. Monte Carlo and Grafton were ridden earlier by the Guatemalan pair, who had a good ride, 3 poles down in total. So these horses scored 279 with Guatemala. And the Polish team will be looking to score higher than that, as they are currently ranked 3rd. So if they have a clear round, they could really put themselves in contention for topping the podium. Octavia Nowacka, a very strong athlete. Won a gold at World Cup final held here in Sarasota last year, but missed out frustratingly on the final. So she's got a lot to prove, and she would love to be on that podium. Spoke to her earlier, and she said she wants to put that frustration behind her. And off to a good start. Octavia Nowacka for Poland, clear over the first 3 fences. Are we going to see fence 5 stay? She's gone in long. And no, just didn't bring the horse back, took a stride out. And fence 5 didn't really have much of a chance of staying up and ridden like that. So she's just got the final 2 fences, 1 pole down so far for the Polish, and it stays like that as she hands over to her teammate. It is Swiderski. Swiderski for Poland, currently 1 pole down for the team. Can Swiderski bring it home and keep them on this score? No, he can't. It's another pole to add to their score, or to take off from their maximum 300. Can he keep 5? Very lucky there. Rode forwards at it, and it rolled, but it stayed in the cups. So So 3 fences left to go for Spadetsky. Not the straightest line, but he's cutting a short corner, not wasting any time to fence number 7. And now straight to 8. Took out a stride and paid for it. So it is again this combination, Monte Carlo and Grafton, 3 poles. As did the Guatemalan pairing on the same horses. And interestingly, 279 points, that's exactly the same score that these 2 horses got earlier in the first round. So no improvement, but nothing worse either. So we're really still missing that elusive full point 300 ride. We've only got 2 rounds left. Can they do it? Give us a maximum score of 300. Well, it is Russia into the arena next, and they will do their best to do that, I'm sure. It's the team of Alexander Lesson, world number 1, last year's world champion, and he is teamed with Anna Buriak. And they've got the horse pair of Gaunt Carolina and Sultana Conejo. Now the Russians riding not their strongest. They are very strong fencers, as they proved this morning. They came 3rd in the fence. They were 3rd in the swim, and that's put them 2nd overall at this stage of the competition. So all to play for the Russians. No one scored a maximum score of 300, so even if they do have a couple of poles, they're going to stay completely in the mix for the combined. But if they can score a maximum, they're going to make life much easier for themselves and could be guaranteeing themselves a spot at the top of the podium. But anyway, it is Anna Buriak from Russia who sets off on the ride. That first fence not caused any problems yet today. It all starts happening after 3, so let's keep an eye. Clear over 3 for Anna Buriak, a very established athlete, won several World Cup medals. Didn't see her on the podium yesterday. See, she paid for that. She's going inside that fence, so really sharp turn after 5, but just started turning a little bit too soon and took the pole with her. But they will be well inside the time if they keep this. So Lesson now, Alexander Lesson, as Anna Buriak hands over to him, can take his time a little bit. He doesn't need to worry because they saved a lot as they went inside of fence 1 from fence 5 to 6. It's the first time we've seen that, so could have been skilled riding, but they paid for it by taking the fence 5. It's just too tight a turn. But let's see if Lesson does the same. Sitting quietly. Oh no, that fence goes again. The poor ground staff there, they might as well just stay by fence 5, I think. It's getting a little bit boring as that fence continually goes, but just 2 fences left for Alexander Lesson, world number 1. Can he hold it together and give the Russian team a good score? Oh, and he held it tight in the mouth, but got away with it. 286, and they will be well inside the time. 7 seconds inside the time. That was thanks to that very tight turn that Buriak took, but it didn't save them everything they needed because 7 points for a pole is more expensive than a couple of seconds on the time. But that's the best score we've seen so far in the second round. It just proves that the riding is not going as smoothly as we might have seen. We saw a couple of full point rides in the individual yesterday and the day before, but nothing yet. Can Egypt do it? So once the final round of riders, the Egyptian pair have been, it'll be straight into the warm-up for the athletes. They will be into their running kit, getting their laser pistols checked, and warming up for the combines. And there'll be a bit of a pause in our coverage, and we'll be back with you for an exciting climax in the combined event, the final day of World Cup 1. Now, I've just had a stand up, and all I can see from here is an empty warm-up arena. So we are waiting to hear what has happened. Okay, now all I can do is report what I have heard from the local tannoy system, and we're not going to be seeing any more riding, I'm terribly sorry to say, because the Egyptians have made that awful mistake of jumping the practice fence the wrong direction. So that is it for us from the riding event. We'll be back shortly with the combined, so stay tuned and join us shortly as we have the climax of this mixed relay event.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wearing a green shirt, wave your hands. Everybody give the volunteers a big hand. For green shirts, they're volunteers. They've done a great job over this week.
Be back, having a great time here in Sarasota and finishing up 5 days of intense competition. We'll see who manages to pull out the gold, silver, and bronze. I noticed that the Brits have conspicuously left themselves out of this. Are they taking all their medals and running?
I know, I don't think they can carry any more medals home.
Starting on the shooting range. They will go to
The USA still trying to get one more medal. What do you think of their chances?
Their chances are looking pretty bad. We're in 9th place right now. The field is close. The fight for the bronze is going to come down to who can shoot the fastest, I think, and who has enough gas left in their tank after this many days of competition.
I mean, I'm thinking Russia are going to be pretty hard to beat. They've got a 15-second lead. It is the team of Anna Buriak and Alexander Lasson. Ranked world #1 Alexander Lasson. Anna Buriak won several World Cup medals. I think they've
absolutely,
got it.
Barring some kind of disaster. I mean, they should be able to hold on for the gold. But again, you never know in the sport of pentathlon, and the shoot with the lighting conditions are always changing. Out here, second is Poland, followed by Argentina.
I mean, Poland, I personally think it's going to be the battle for the bronze. Poland is the team of Octavia Nowaska and Jaroslav Swiderski. And Octavia, she actually won the World Cup final here last year in Sarasota. She won 2 of the World Cups and had another medal in one of the others. Missed out on the final, so she's very fresh, but got a point to prove.
Absolutely, and that makes a big difference on the last day if your legs are fresh. And here we are, Russia is off.
Zhang from China.
And a good shoot for Russia. They've already off the range.
Mexico.
They are.
Is on the course.
It's 2 hits down for team in second, Poland.
These ladies have to hit. We'll do 2 shooting series, 2
And in
times
position
800
3,
meters.
Argentina already got 3 lights off.
And the men will do
With
the same.
Irina Koklova.
Well, that's Poland off now, so it is a fight for the girls. As Anna
And
Buriak.
Canada is off. They had a great, Melanie McCann had a great shoot.
China, Ireland.
So as we've had all day, it is the women setting off first in the events as it has happened throughout the day. And these women will be doing 2 laps. So it's 2 shoots, 2 laps for the girls. And they hand over to the guys who do another 2 laps, and they will bring home the final positions.
It's great to see the mixed relay with a female and a male, combined together, paired up, and seeing the affection and support that they each have for each other, trying to pull each other's weight at times, and then encouraging others to do better.
It's really nice. I got a chance to compete in it when it was only just been introduced back in 2011, and it's at the end of the competition, and lots of the countries it doesn't count towards any of their rankings, and it's just good fun. It's a chance to actually be part of a real team.
It is, and hopefully, of course, we're always looking to make this an Olympic event. We had a pretty good turnout here, and the more times and more viewers that people see this event, hopefully they'll voice their support for it to become part of the Olympic program.
Exactly, and also having 15 teams taking part is very impressive as well. This early in the season, some of the countries might just want to get back and get their head down for training, but 15 of them have entered. That's 30 athletes competing here today.
That was surprisingly a large number. I was expecting to see somewhere around 10 to 12. Especially being the first one of the season. But it's great. It's always a chance to get more international experience, especially for the younger athletes making their debut or their jump from junior to senior.
I think it's a great opportunity because these athletes get to ride automatically, whereas obviously unless they qualify for the individual finals, they don't get that opportunity to experience riding at World Cup level.
And that is always one of the scariest parts of pentathlon, right? Jumping on a strange horse that you've drawn, not speaking the language, and the more international experience you have, the more comfortable you become knowing that you take the scare factor out of it.
Well, here we see the leader looking very comfortable, Anna Buriak from Russia, coming through her halfway mark. That is 1 lap done, 1 lap to go for Buriak from Russia, but a huge lead already.
A huge lead, looking at like 20 or 30 seconds, just extended it. And there's a battle coming around the corner for the second as well as third place. We've got 5 groups bunched together. Poland, Canada, and Mexico. followed by Ireland and China. We'll see what these ladies can do on the shooting.
So having
range.
said it was going to be a battle for bronze, it looks like it's going to be a battle for silver and bronze, I think.
Absolutely. Here comes America with Margot. She's not giving up, fighting till the end.
It could end up being a very exciting race for the lesser coloured medals, unless something crazy happens. Russia are going to jog home with that gold. They've got the world #1 taking over after Anna Buriat. How's she getting on the range? She's got three hits cleared. Not having a great shoot now, though. So having said that, she's missing. She's missed another. She's still got to get her 4th shot away. And now just 1 shot left for Buriat. She is off. Not a good shoot, so she's going to give it everything now on this final run. But look at that. Mel McCann had a great shoot.
McCann and China and Ireland are right on her tail. They all 3 had amazing shoots.
Well, having just said, talking about Russia being so comfortable, maybe we're going to see a great competition all round. I'll just be quiet.
We're always speaking too soon in this event, right? But with Alexander Lesson coming on, he's always never to be counted out. Always one of the ones that people are running scared if he's behind you, and pretty much know he has it in the bag if he's in front of you. So if she can hold on here, coming around on her 2nd lap with the lead, then they're going to be sitting in a pretty place.
They are, but it's turning into a much more exciting end part than we expected. It is sad not to see Egypt fighting for the medals after their little disaster in the warm-up arena in the riding. I don't know if you saw that, but we were all waiting, all the viewers I'm sure were also waiting to see them come in. They were ranked first before the ride. But sadly, the young, inexperienced Heidi Morsey jumped the practice jump in the wrong direction.
Wow. Unfortunately, I missed the ride. I was called into a board meeting.
Things you have to do
with one stone here, but that's really unfortunate, and I guess it's good for them that it happened at the relay competition, not when she was vying for the gold medal.
Yeah, she's a very young athlete, and it's a real shame because she'll feel that she's let her team down, but hopefully she can just learn from the experience, and
she'll never make that mistake again.
She certainly won't. So we are heading towards the end of the women's part of the team relay, and it'll be into the changeover. So the women have to complete 2 laps, 2 800-meter loops of this course, 2 shoots. They've already done their shoots. We've just got 1 athlete left on the shooting range. That is Egypt, actually, who we were just talking about, so they had a big penalty before setting off. But first into the arena, it is Anna Buriat, but Natalia Coyle from Ireland having a storming run.
Wow.
Look at that.
She is just tearing up the real estate. She looks like she's going to take over the lead here coming into the final.
What a strong run by Natalia Coyle. She's just flown past Anna Buriat. Look at Natalia Coyle.
Wow.
I know they had a year out. She had a lot of time to work on her training. She's looking like she's incredibly fit right now, and look at her go.
She is not giving up. She's giving it
very strong. Very strong indeed, as she hands over to Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe in the gold medal position. Alexander Lasson in silver.
Making up great time. I think she made up 30-some seconds there from her 2 shoots and 2 runs, but Alexander Lasson failed to qualify for the final, so he's got to be fresh.
I mean, what an absolute storming performance by Natalia Coyle from Ireland. She set off in 8th place, 32 seconds behind the lead, and this is only 2 laps which she did that in.
That's amazing that she could make up that amount of time in such a short, two series of shooting and 2 laps around, but she was looking very fit and very fast.
And look at that, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe out of the arena just in front of Lasson. Lasson chasing him down. I mean, Lasson has got the legs, he's fresh. Did Arthur make the final? I'm trying to remember. Yes, we saw Arthur yesterday in the final, so Lasson's going to have fresher legs than him, and it's going to be a good battle.
Doesn't look like he's slowing down, though. There's still...
I think Lasson is a very confident athlete, and he'll know what he's got to do.
He knows exactly how much time he has on his side, and he knows... Every male athlete knows what their competitors are capable of.
But this is incredibly exciting for Ireland as they're still hanging on to that lead. But even once Lasson, there we go, Russia just taking the lead now. But still, Ireland to be in this strong silver medal position and a great first shoot. Only 1 shoot left to go for the men.
Amazing position for Ireland, who has not taken a medal in any.
Well, Ireland actually have had a good history in the mixed relay, and they won a medal last year. I can't remember which event it was, but I know that they won a medal. And it was this pair, so they're very strong in the mixed relay.
And looking for great things from them as a country, bringing up lots of new athletes onto the international stage.
And we've just got the lower ranked athletes changing over in front of us in the changeover box. And they're heading on to the shooting range. So we're at the lead athletes out of sight at the moment. But still, it's great experience for those athletes who haven't had such a good day, but they're going to complete the combined event and learn from it as much as they can, competing at this World Cup international stage.
There's a lot of nerves that come into play when you burst onto the international stage, especially for the younger as well as the older ones. There's always so much to be learned.
And here we have in the picture Lasun and Arthur Lanigan-O'Keefe, Alexander Lasun, Arthur Lanigan-O'Keefe for Ireland. And it looks like Arthur from Ireland is just using Lasun. He's sitting on his shoulder. Very good tactical running here. He looks actually very comfortable.
Running a very smart race, actually, knowing that Lasun was going to overtake him, but sticking to his shoulder and not giving up. He's looking pretty solidly that Ireland is in for the medals.
Ireland are looking so strong. This is absolutely amazing performance. They set off down in 8th position before the combined, and he is putting Lasun under a lot of pressure.
And
but here we go, the great combined athlete, Riccardo De Luca, who's closing down on those leaders, and Canada just dropped into 4th. And it's really pretty close between 5th, 6th. America in the mix there as well.
In the mix, there's a battle for 4th, which I'm not sure has any of the glory, but if one of them happens to have some kind of amazing shoot in 6 or 7 seconds, maybe 7 or 8, they could have a chance to move up and put a little pressure. Probably not on the Italian.
And Arthur,
wow.
They're off together. Well, Arthur just behind Lasun. I think Lasun's going to have that in the bag. But Ireland, I think, are going to take the silver, and that will be amazing for that country.
Excellent showing, and I have to give credit to Natalia Coyle for her amazing 30 seconds.
And look at this. Who is going to get the bronze? It is 3 together. We've got Canada, I think I can just about see, Mexico and the USA. An absolute nightmare shoot for poor Riccardo De Luca. He was hoping to get a medal. He's got some legs on him, but I think he's left himself too much to do to get back into bronze.
That was really unfortunate. Not something that we expect to see out of him ever.
I know, he's not had a good time here. He failed to qualify for the final, but had fresh legs. But anyway, we are back to the leading pair. And look at Arthur. He's not letting... Arthur Lanigan-O'Keefe of Ireland is not going to let Lasun out of his sights. He is going to fight to the very bitter end. But it is Canada in 3rd place at the moment. And Monica, look USA.
Go Dennis.
Can Dennis do it? What do you think?
You know, Dennis may not be. He typically has a good combined event. He is. In our past few competitions, he's managed 38 seconds for all 4 series, but he looks like he's struggling physically running in the sand down the side. I think he's out of medal contention, but a strong showing and a way to redeem himself from the final yesterday, which unfortunately didn't have the results he was looking for.
Well, there's always the pressure of competing at home as well, and maybe Dennis just didn't quite manage to thrive on that.
That can be a challenge. The crowd has been very supportive of everybody. Of course, looking to have an American medal is always fun.
And we are now back onto the leader. You can't see, but the sun has opened that lead. Russia are going to take the gold. They're just doing the final few circuits inside the riding arena, and Russia are doing it in style.
As always, he knows that he has it in the bag, and he's showing everybody exactly how easy it is.
And why he is world number 1.
Kind of performance.
But Ireland, massive round of applause to them. They gave Russia a run for their money, starting off 32 seconds behind them. What a result for Ireland.
Excellent.
That is incredible.
And coming in 3rd, we have Canada, who looks like they have...
Oh, and what a great result for Canada. Joshua Riker-Fox here. Look at him. Oh, I'm so excited. He's such a good guy. Good friend, Josh Riker-Fox. And making that bronze, his teammate Melanie McCann there to give him the high five. They are going to be ecstatic with that result.
And here comes Dennis Boucher for the Americans, coming in 5th, followed by Italy in 6th and China in 7th. So I know that Dennis and Margot will be happy with that finish. They had a horrible start to the morning. Their fencing began strong, but then they just tanked. So it was a mental and as well as physical struggle for them today. It's good to see them in 5th.
And that just shows how important whatever any position is to the athletes, a sprint there between Guatemala.
A little theatrics for the crowd as always.
And it was Mexico, I think, because they literally rolled over the finish line.
But it also goes to show these guys are really tired. Everybody is exhausted. Even though it's half the distance, you give it more than you would to try to sprint. You know, it's really a sprint, not such a distance run anymore. Great race by everybody.
Well, I think we've still got a few left out on the course who had a few problems during the day. So we'll just wait as our final few athletes come back into the arena now. It was very much an exciting fight in the middle of the field. We had a separate fight at the beginning with Russia and Ireland. Did not expect that.
Very surprising, I think, to everybody. The crowd, the coaches probably as well. And they have to be very proud of themselves with that strong performance and hopefully lock that away in their box and know that they can draw on that at any time, that it's possible to make up 30 seconds in 2 shoots and 2 800-meter
And here we are, Belarus coming across the line. And it's Bustos from Chile finishing exhausted there. He was competing in the final only yesterday, and now it is Japan's Shimano from Japan coming home.
And we still have 2 teams still out on the course. The crowd's still waiting for them to finish and giving them a round of applause for a well done effort today.
And the crowd just keep on supporting these athletes as they come home. It is Kazakhstan crossing the line now. Turien, not a great day for them, but they fought right the way to the end. And I think we're waiting to find Omar El Jaziri. Here he comes into the arena now. It was his brother yesterday who just missed out, finishing 4th in the men's individual. Had such a strong start to the day. And sadly, Egypt had such a strong start again today. They were in the lead by a long way after the fence and swim. And well, it went wrong in the riding arena before even making it into the main stage.
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast that we call our sport pentathlon, and anything can happen. So always fight till the bitter end because anything is possible. And here we are,
Omar giving a bit of a wave to the crowd as they appreciate all of the athletes here today, and it's great to have such an appreciative crowd, and it must help the athletes tremendously.
We had a good turnout, surprisingly. There's not a big culture of pentathlon.
You sound so surprised, Monica. Come on, this is our great sport. We love it. Surely everyone else loves it.
Everybody has shown great support, and I think we've educated the crowd in Sarasota. It was great to have the fencing bonus round, and I think there's a lot to be learned watching it. Some of the athletes didn't quite understand the new rules, so hopefully they'll all go home and figure out who has priority and what to do with that when they're on the fencing strip. But overall, an amazing competition, great venues. I hope that everybody has enjoyed their time in Sarasota.
Well, I certainly have, so thank you for having me over here, and we look forward to going back to Sarasota next year for the World Cup final.
And hopefully at that time the weather will be a little bit more cooperative and people won't be having to shoot in 20 miles an hour.
I mean, look at the view right now. We can't complain about that weather.
You're going home with a little bit of a tan, so everybody's happy.
Well, I think that is us. That is it from us. This has been an awesome 5 days, and thank you for joining us and watching and following the live stream. And thank you so
Heather.
much for joining me, Monica, and making it so much easier.
Always fun. Thank you for all the viewers and our audience.
Well, we'll be back at the next World Cup in Cairo, so hope to see you then.
Modern Pentathlon Confederation. Dr. Klaus Schorman is with Monica Fleem-Roland from USA Pentathlon. Joined by Sami Gamay, President of the African Modern Pentathlon Confederation. Presenting the flowers, we have Nicole Rissler from Visit Sarasota. She's joined by Ashley Gonzalez from the Hyatt Hotels. And of course, Catherine Harris, the chair of the Sarasota-Bradenton Local Organizing Committee. And now let's welcome the athletes, the medalists of the mixed relay event. Ladies and gentlemen, our bronze medalists, representing Canada, Melanie McCann and Josh Riker-Fox. And now our silver medalists representing Ireland, Natalia Coyle and Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe. And now our gold medalists and mixed relay champions representing Russia, Anna Buryak and Alexander Lesoon. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem of Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the athletic portion of the Modern Pentathlon 2015 World Cup from Sarasota-Bradenton, Florida, here at Nathan Benderson Park. In just a few minutes, we will have a very exciting closing ceremony, so stay tuned.